Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the enchanting and picturesque seaside city of Trieste, Italy. Trieste is nestled in the far north of the Adriatic Sea, near Italy's border with Slovenia. It's special not only for its place in both classical and modern history, but also because today it serves as our embarkation port for a 7-day Mediterranean cruise on the Norwegian Gem. We made our way to Trieste from Venice with a 2-hour train ride. It wasn't that difficult to get to, and the tickets on the regional Trenitalia route only cost about 15 euros. If you embark in Trieste, you can also fly into the Trieste airport, but there are only a few airlines that fly there, so be prepared to take a few layovers. Not only that, but it's still a 30-minute train ride into the city, so we thought it would just be easier to fly into the much more serviced Venice Marco Polo Airport and then take the direct train. We didn't purchase our transfer or flights through the cruise line, but you should know that this is also an option. Just be prepared to pay for it, unless you happen to find a promotional deal with NCL. Now that we were here, it was time to board the ship. Unfortunately, things didn't look so good when we arrived in the port. The line was out the door, and these shots outside only show about 10% of the total queue, which snaked around inside the building, causing an over 2-hour embarkation process. We're really not sure what happened here. All of our other NCL cruises have had much more efficient embarkation processes. Well, we are on board and in our stateroom, as you can see. Catherine's just chilling.
You're standing for 2 hours, so it's nice to sit.
Yeah, the check-in process was absolutely awful. So they told us not to get here before 2 o'clock, and everyone was supposed to be here on the boat by 3. So it's 4:15. We got on the boat maybe 5 minutes ago. So yeah, over 2 hours standing in lines.
We need drinks.
It was pretty awful. Yeah, we need to start using that free drinks package. So yeah, but we made it. Now we are on the hunt for alcoholic beverages.
Yes.
We've been waiting for this
We deserve it.
all day. It makes us sound awful, but... In addition to these cocktails, we also figured we should get a bite to eat. After all, it was dinner time. So we ventured down to O'Sheehan's Irish Pub, an included dining venue located right off the atrium. This restaurant is, as you probably guessed it, a pub-style restaurant with pub foods, and it's very centrally located on the ship. We had the option between several different entrees, but we decided to go with a nice greasy burger to start our cruise. We'll talk a little bit more about the dining experience on the ship later in this video. For the sail away, we wanted to be on the pool deck, so we made our way up to decks 12 and 13 to take in the views before shoving off. About 2 hours late, the captain blasted the horn and we were on our way. We were really excited about this cruise. We were going to go to several places that we'd never been before. The cruise we were on was branded as the 7-Day Greek Isles Cruise. Although that title doesn't really do justice to all the locations we visited, our ship left Trieste and would travel south to Kotor, Montenegro. After Kotor, we would have a day in Corfu, Greece, and then move on to the beautiful Santorini. Then we would visit the sunny and windy Mykonos before spending a day at sea on our way back into the Adriatic. On the way to our final destination of Trieste, we would stop at Dubrovnik to take in some sights in that beautiful medieval city. All told, we would be visiting 5 ports in 4 different countries. The sail away from Trieste was absolutely beautiful, much to the credit of both the weather and the impressive landscape. We even saw a huge sailing yacht parked in the harbor, which we later learned was a ship that had been confiscated and held in Italian waters by the Italian Navy. That interesting piece of knowledge in hand, we turned in for the night. So it's day 2 of our cruise now. It's a beautiful day out here on the sea, and we're somewhere in the Adriatic on our way to Kotor, Montenegro right now. So we're going to go down and we have to get our tickets to get on the tender boats that take us over to Kotor, since we're not actually docking. And we don't have any excursions planned today, so we're just going to walk around Kotor. Soon we found ourselves entering the Bay of Kotor, on our way to the city of stone, alleys, and, well, cats. Seriously, it's known as a cat sanctuary and is home to literally thousands of felines. Anyway, it's on sail-ins like this that we're thankful that we booked a balcony cabin. the views were just amazing, with crystal clear blue waters below and green-brown mountains in the distance. It was really a surreal experience. We cast our anchor and made our way to the tender boats. Sometimes the port is too shallow, small, or crowded for large cruise ships to dock, so the ship has to tender its passengers on smaller boats to the port. That was the case today, and it was only the first of many tendering experiences that we had on this cruise. After about 20 minutes on the tender boat, we were at the dock and making our way under the medieval walls into the small stone alleyways that made up this beautiful city. We did a full video on Kotor already, and you can find it in the description down below. While we were here, we had highlights. The churches, old city walls, beautiful architecture, and mountainous background was quite surreal. And of course, we had to visit a certain museum for Catherine.
So where are we right now, Catherine?
We're at the Cats Museum. in
Yeah.
Kotor.
And how are you finding it?
It's lovely.
It's...
I like it. Yeah.
We even saw several furry friends all over the place, which Catherine could just not stay away from. Even though this city is mainly in the shade because of the high buildings and small alleys, it was still quite hot. So we decided to stop at a local restaurant and try some of the local brew.
So we ordered the local beef here. We asked them how to pronounce it, but I wouldn't even know how to pronounce it.
Nitschishko.
That's it? Okay.
Nitschishko, yeah.
After getting our fill, we headed back to the ship to get ready for the evening.
Catherine's just chilling out right now. She's a little bit tired after our day. But anyway, Kotor is in the books. But we really liked Kotor. I think we were a little bit surprised at how small it was, but it was like a medieval city. I mean, all these narrow little walkways and big churches and all these stone buildings all over the place. It was really cool. And then, of course, Catherine got to see the cats as well. Several cats, which at first didn't come out, but then we found a few places they were hiding because it was so hot. Yeah, so I think Kotor was a good place to go. We really enjoyed ourselves, but on to the next one.
We got ourselves ready and headed down to Magnum Champagne and Wine Bar, one of the 16 bars and lounges on board, for a quick drink before dinner.
What do you have to drink?
Prosecco, naturally.
Prosecco in Magnum Champagne Bar, so that's fitting. I just got a gin and tonic, so whoops.
We even had the opportunity to be serenaded by some soft piano music, which really set the atmosphere. For dinner tonight, we were eating in the Grand Pacific Dining Room, one of the included main dining rooms on board. Located in the aft of the ship, this dining room is large, elegant, and offers some amazing views outside in every direction. We took a quick look at the extensive offerings for tonight and ordered our meals. Now might be a good time to talk about the dining on board this ship. With your cruise fare, you can dine in either of the main dining rooms, the Grand Pacific or the Magenta, as well as O'Sheehan's Pub, the buffet, which is called the Garden Grill, the Great Outdoors, which is an outdoor portion of the buffet, Topsiders Bar and Grill by the pool, and Orchid Garden, an Asian fusion restaurant. All of these restaurants have a wide selection of food, and the main dining room offers an extensive menu of rotating appetizers and main courses, as well as a few classic main courses, and then of course, dessert. There were so many changing food options that if we went on a 21-day cruise and ate only in the main dining rooms, we could make it so that we never had the same meal twice. One thing we absolutely love about NCL is what they call freestyle dining. This is exactly what it sounds like. Dine on your own time. There are no required seating times. When you are hungry, you go and eat, provided the venue is open, of course. However, on our cruise, there was only a 2-hour window in the entire day between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. where there wasn't at least one complimentary restaurant open. Talk about options. In addition to the complimentary venues, there's also several restaurants on board that offer great food for an additional cost. These are called specialty restaurants. These restaurants are Le Bistro, which offers fine French dining, Teppanyaki, a hibachi grill, La Cucina, offering Italian fare, Cagney's, an American steakhouse, Moderno, a Brazilian restaurant, and Sushi, offering you, well, sushi. To be honest, these restaurants can be quite pricey. Later in our cruise, for example, we visit Cagney's. Our bill there came out to over $200 for an appetizer, 2 sides, and a steak each, with dessert. Of course, this fee was waived because of our package. If you don't want to pay the a la carte pricing, there are plenty of specialty restaurant packages that you can purchase on the cruise, which give you quite a discount. Or you could just get the free at sea package, which offers 2 specialty restaurant experiences during your 7-day cruise. We took advantage of this offer. We'll talk more about free at sea later. Anyway, let's get back to our first meal in the Grand Pacific dining room.
Ooh, so this all looks really good. What'd you get, Catherine?
I got the herb roasted chicken.
Yes.
Mashed potatoes and broccoli.
It's a healthy size mashed potatoes, too.
Yeah.
And then I did the breaded flounder, which looks really good. How was your meal?
Delicious.
Yeah, it was so good. We did get appetizers, too, but we ate those before we had a chance to film them. We are indulging a little bit. What'd you get?
Mint chocolate mousse.
Yes, it looks really good. I went for the apple strudel, and it looks so good. Lots of caramel sauce. We love that.
After dinner, we made our way back to the cabin to watch the sail away. The final tender boats were loaded on board, and we were off to Corfu. The next morning, we woke up early and watched the sail into Corfu from the comfort of our table at the buffet. It looked like another beautiful day. Morning, guys. Well, it is day 3 of our cruise here on the Norwegian Gem. We are currently pulling into the docks at Corfu, Greece, so that's exciting. We actually are going on an excursion today. We're just going to the beach. And then tonight, we have dinner reservations at one of the specialty restaurants. We're hopefully going to be getting steak tonight, so we're excited about that. With our tickets in hand, we made our way to the meeting point for our shore excursion, the Stardust Theater. Our group met up with the guide, and we made our way to the buses parked directly next to the ship, which promptly ferried us 30 minutes away to the beach where we would be spending the rest of the day. This excursion included the transport to and from the beach, as well as 2 drink tickets for each of us. It also included an umbrella with 2 beach chairs per party. When you're booking shore excursions, be sure you read the fine print to see exactly what's included. NCL offers several excursions, and we had over 10 to choose from in each port on this cruise. You do need to pay extra for the excursions, and depending on your itinerary, they can be extremely expensive. Our beach day, for example, was about $35 per person. However, when we went on a cruise to Iceland, there were individual excursions that cost up to $400 per person. It really just depends on where you are and what you're doing. You can book shore excursions on your cruise with the Manage Booking part of the NCL website, or you can also book the excursion directly on the ship at the shore excursion desk, which is usually located right next to guest services. Excursions can be a great way to see your destination in a new and exciting way, and you also have the added comfort of knowing that your ship will wait for you if the excursion is running late. This only applies if you book the shore excursion directly through the cruise line. We should say that many times, shore excursions with the cruise lines are much more expensive than what you would probably pay if you arranged the same exact excursion through a third party. However, sometimes that added peace of mind is good to have. You can also get discounts on excursions based on your status with NCL, or if you have the free at sea or other packages. Of course, you can always just explore the ports on your own, without an excursion, which we did a lot. Eventually, our day at the beach had to come to an end, and we got back on the bus and headed back to the ship. Well, we're back on the ship now. We had a great day at the beach in Corfu, and now we're pulling out of the port. Now we just got dressed, and we're actually going to go to one of the specialty restaurants on board. So this is one that's not usually included with your normal meal plan. So the specialty restaurant is Cagney Steakhouse, so we're going to have some steak. I'm really looking forward to this. Catherine, are you excited?
Oh, yeah.
Cagney Steakhouse is located midship, all the way up on deck 13. And it does actually resemble a Chicago steakhouse.
Got some oysters Rockefeller, and then some jumbo shrimps.
With our meal package, we also got a soup or a salad, an entree, and 2 sides. We both went with a filet, and it was actually cooked very well and was extremely flavorful.
Look at how cute yours is.
Kind of wishing I got the cake now.
Really? It's big. You can have some.
I will have some. Morning, guys. It's day 4 of our cruise here on Norwegian Cruise Lines. We are currently out in the middle of the sea. We're making our way to Santorini today and then Mykonos tomorrow. So we'll be hitting the Greek islands pretty soon, so that's cool. Corfu yesterday was great. It was nice taking the beach day, but we got back and we were just super tired after spending all day out in the sun. So we kind of laid low yesterday, took a nap when we got back, and then we just got a couple drinks, listened to some of the entertainers that are here on the ship, and we turned in pretty early, about 10:30 last night. So yeah, now we are going to head down to breakfast. We're going to try the Grand Pacific dining room for breakfast, and we'll see where the day takes us.
There is breakfast offered in both the main dining rooms on the ship, both with the same menu that offers some breakfast specials that might be different from what you would find in the buffet.
Ready for breakfast.
I went for the Eggs Benedict with hash browns, and Catherine opted for the American breakfast. Both were great, and it was nice to eat them in the relative peace of the main dining room instead of the buffet, which is always hectic. After breakfast, we got ready to go ashore in Santorini. We had another shore excursion planned today, which included a winery visit and a trip to some villages on the island. Overall, we didn't really feel like we got our money's worth with this excursion, considering we paid nearly $200 per person for it. The excursion also just dropped us off in Fira rather than also paying for the cable car and other expenses to actually get back to the ship. You can check out our full video of our experience in Santorini, which is linked down in the description. Overall, it was a fun but extremely warm day on the Greek Isle.
So we're back from our trip onto Santorini. We had a lot of fun. It was pretty good. We went to a winery, and then we went to Ia, which is a little village on the island of Santorini, just north of Fira, the capital. So we spent about an hour, maybe 45 minutes at the winery. It would have been nice to get a little bit more time at the winery, and our package only included tasting 3 little samples of wine. We didn't really get a full glass of wine. We did get some snacks though, which was nice. It would have also been nice to get water though, because it was very, very, very hot today. Being in Ia was nice too. We didn't really like that we had to take a 40-minute bus ride there from the winery, and then we also had to take another about 20-minute bus ride back to Fira. So it was just a lot of being in transit. But I think overall we had a good time. It was nice to see a little bit more of Santorini than just Fira, the capital city, because Fira is very, very crowded, and it's not quite what you want to see if you want to really experience more of the culture. It took us a little bit of time to get back to the boat, so it's almost 8 o'clock at night now. We just took showers, got dressed, and now we are going to dinner. So we're actually going to try a new restaurant tonight called Magenta, and then after that we're going to try to catch one of the shows that they have in the Stardust Theater, which we also haven't been to yet. So yeah, it should be an exciting night.
We made our way to Deck 6 midship to eat in the other main dining room, Magenta. The look and feel here was very elegant, and it's a smaller space, which was nice for a quiet and intimate dinner.
So we got some starters here, some clam chowder, and then a very nice little cornbread, and mashed potato croquettes. These look really good. We couldn't help ourselves. We got 3. Why not? It's free. So we got our mains, and they are really big, actually. So Catherine got the shrimp linguine, and I got the cordon bleu, chicken cordon bleu. It all looks very good.
The meal was delicious, and we ended with a bit of dessert before heading to the Stardust Theater for the show. Unfortunately, filming isn't allowed during the shows, but don't worry, a review is incoming. After the show, it was late, so we watched the sail away and went to bed.
The show last night was pretty cool. It was they called him a multi-instrumentalist. He played the pan flutes and the xylophone, basically, so it wasn't really multi-instrumentalist. But he was pretty good. He played a lot of rock interpretations of classical music. It's pretty good, just like all the other shows we've been to. And then we listened to a group in the Magnum bar that played a bunch of Motown music from the 60s and 70s, and that was also really good. That's my kind of music, so it's great that they have all these entertainment options. We just pulled into port at sunny Mykonos, and it is so sunny. It's also really windy here. We heard that these islands were supposed to be windy, and it wasn't windy at all in Santorini, which made it, honestly, it was very difficult to get around because it was so hot. We're going to get some breakfast. Catherine's taking a shower right now, and then we're going to go explore the town.
We would eat breakfast this morning in O'Sheehan's, another complimentary venue besides the buffet that has a limited breakfast menu. The menu might be limited, but the food was still delicious. Mykonos was another tender port, so we boarded the boat and headed off to land. Unlike in Kotor, we were anchored directly next to the port, so it was only about 3 minutes until we were ashore. Make sure to check out our full video on Mykonos, which you can find down in the description. It was absolutely beautiful here, and a place we would definitely consider returning to. About an hour before our ship was scheduled to leave, we reluctantly got back on the tender and headed back to the ship. We watched the sail away from our balcony before getting ready for dinner. Tonight we were going to another complimentary restaurant where we hadn't been before, Orchid Garden. We were not quite sure what to expect from this Asian fusion restaurant, and to be honest, we were a little bit disappointed in how limited the menu was.
What you got there?
Fried rice, mixed fried rice.
There you go. What is that, Catherine?
5-spice chocolate cake.
Interesting. And then I got some sort of wedges. I think they're chestnut wedges.
The food here was mediocre at best, and we probably wouldn't be coming back. This was really our first and only disappointment with the dining on board this cruise. After dinner, we went down the stairs right next to Orchid Garden into Magnum's to get a few drinks. We listened to some live music here before heading off to bed. The next day was a sea day, which meant that we wouldn't be going to any port. We woke up to some amazing views of the southern coast of Greece as we rounded the islands and started steaming into the Adriatic back towards Trieste. We did a lot on this day. We spent some time by the pool, took care of a few things at guest services, enjoyed some more live entertainment, went to another show, played trivia, enjoyed some time in the casino, and went to several bars around the ship. These sea days are great for exploring the places on the ship that you haven't been to yet, and we made the most of ours. That evening, we also had our second specialty restaurant experience. We went to the fine French dining establishment, Le Bistro. This restaurant is extremely elegant and reminded us of something out of Beauty and the Beast. There was definitely French influence here. Sticking to the theme, we enjoyed some escargot and scallops for our appetizer. This was followed by some goat cheese croquettes and a roulade. For our mains, we went with the roasted duck breast and braised lamb shank. The food was all delicious, and we were glad we could experience it with our free at sea package. So we should probably explain what the free at sea package actually is. After all, we've gotten so many amazing benefits from it. Free at Sea is a package you can buy along with your fare, and it's an extremely cost-effective package that allows you to choose from any combination of internet time, specialty dining experiences, an unlimited drinks package, discounts on shore excursions, and more. The cost of this package ended up being about $169 per person. On the drinks alone, this was more than worth it, and you should definitely check it out if you're booking with NCL. After dinner, we called it a night. We woke up bright and early to find ourselves in Dubrovnik, Croatia. We were excited about this port. After all, a lot of Game of Thrones scenes were shot here, and it looked absolutely beautiful. We did have another shore excursion here as well, which included a ride through the surrounding mountains of Dubrovnik and getting some amazing views of the city. After our excursion, we were dropped off in the city and made sure to check off all of the filming locations for the show. You can check out our video on Dubrovnik in the description down below. When we got back to the ship, we were a bit bummed. After all, this was our last night of the cruise, and we'd had a great time so far. We've seen some amazing places and had some great experiences. The Norwegian Gem is nowhere near the largest or most luxurious NCL ship. However, even with just over 2,000 people on our cruise, we felt that it held its passengers very well, and afforded us enough luxury and comfort to keep us wanting to come back for more. The crew amazed us on this entire cruise, and they were always proactive and helpful. The food was also delicious. We'd only had one bad experience, and we use the word bad very loosely here. We woke up the next morning in the port of Trieste, happy knowing that we had a great experience. It was this cruise on the Gem that prompted us to take several more NCL cruises, and we can definitely recommend this cruise line to others. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.